The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
Raider Nation, ahoy! This is your captain speaking, Raider Nation, Jason. It was early in the AM down here, and I told you I live in Memphis, Tennessee. So it was Central Time when I woke up this morning to the details of the Henry Ruggs situation. Of course, he was released late last night, early into the AM. I guess it was just late last night in Nevada. But the details came out, and Henry Ruggs is in some trouble. It says that Henry Ruggs was driving at 156 miles an hour with a blood alcohol content twice the legal limit in Nevada, which is a 0.161. They said he decelerated, which means he slammed on the brakes 2 seconds before impact. So he made contact with this Toyota RAV4 at 127 miles per hour. His airbags were then deployed. It immediately ignited the RAV4. I'm guessing the impact probably knocked the lady unconscious, but her car, like I said, just it ignited, and she never made it out of the car. The judge in the situation, Judge Bonaventure, I think I'm saying that right, said in his long career he had never seen speeds that high of a crash, which shows just the utmost reckless driving. And that's just beyond drunk driving. That's something completely different. And that's wild. His passenger was identified. If it's his girlfriend, his friend, I'm not quite sure what their relationship was, but she's identified as Kiera Kilgo Washington, a 22-year-old young lady from Las Vegas. I heard she suffered a arm injury, so he could be facing more charges. And like I said, this gets continuously worse. He had a $1 million bail that was set with strict conditions. He is completely confined to his home. He is not to leave his house. He has electronic monitoring, which I assume means things like social media, and, the things that he has access to the outside world. They also, of course, said no alcohol. He is not to consume alcohol. He is not to drive any car or be in command of any form of transportation. He is to surrender his passport. Henry Ruggs is facing 2 to 20 years in prison, in federal prison or state prison, for these charges. Like I said, this is really, really serious. This is as serious as it gets. Not to mention, to compound the fact that they're possibly going to add firearms charges. People don't know he had a loaded firearm in the floorboard of his car. So I'm not quite sure how that works, in the state of Nevada. But you're drunk. You have a completely crazy accident. You're driving like at 156 miles an hour. You hit this lady going 130. I think the formal charge is a DUI involving a death or involving a fatality. So they are probably going to issue additional charges for the loaded firearm in his car as well. Due to the nature of the situation, the DUI, he will not be granted probation. And that's due to a Nevada law. So, of course, that's why the Raiders just went ahead and cut ties with Henry Ruggs. He is no longer a member of the Raider Nation. They cut him last night. His contract, he was under contract with the Raiders through 2023. And like I said, not that this matters because this goes so far beyond football. This goes to life and things, like I said, that are forever altered and changed, that will never be the same again. But for the football heads out there, this year's going to save this team $5 million in cap space. Next year, $7.4 million, and in 2023, $5.3 million. We still have Brian Edwards. He's going to move up to wide receiver number 1. We have big play Zay Jones is going to move to wide receiver 2. We're going to keep Renfro in the slot. Of course, we still have Darren Waller and Kenyon Drake in the backfield, who's been doing great in the pass catching area as well. On the practice squad, we have DJ Turner, Dylan Stoner, and Javon Williams, who Coach Bisaccia has been really, really high on those guys. So look forward to either seeing them, move up from the practice squad, or not saying anybody's going to get any meaningful play time. But now our roster is short. They just took away, like I said, 400 yards and some really good production. Is one of the highest producing receivers in the league. But like I said, maybe this is where we try to go out and get Deshaun Jackson, Some people were saying maybe Devin Funchess. I heard maybe bringing John Brown back. I even heard Seth Roberts tossed around. Please don't bring back Seth Roberts. But there's a couple players out there that, you know, are looking for a call up, maybe an opportunity to make themselves known in the NFL. So maybe some big opportunities are coming. Look, this wasn't a long podcast. This was just to break down some of the actual factuals of the Ruggs case. And I'll be, you know, doing more as more information comes out. But Henry Ruggs is in a lot of trouble. He's in a lot of trouble. Like I said, my condolences go out to his family, you know, his daughter, his girlfriend, just everyone associated with him. It's gonna be a long road for Henry. You know what I mean? Hopefully he surrounded himself with the right people who can help him move forward and become a better person, a better human being. You know, like I said, screw football. That's done for a second. And my heart and my condolences and my prayers definitely goes out to the young lady whose name hasn't been released. For her and her dog were in the car, and of course they both died. So yeah, it's just a sad situation all around. So if you are around Henry Ruggs, wrap your arms around the dude, support him, uplift him. And Raider Nation, we gotta keep on going. You know, it's a next man up thing. The season won't stop. We have to prove that we are a resilient team. We have to prove that we are not a nation. We have to prove that we are the nation. We are the only nation, and we are the Raider Nation. This is your
when you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.